The very warmest of welcomes to you indeed to the FIG Apparatus World Cup in Cairo, the second World Cup to take place in this wonderful stadium and this magnificent city. And after the rip-roaring success of June last year, the Cairo World Cup has become a fixture of the FIG calendar. It's great to have your company wherever you are joining us from. The Cairo International Stadium, the host of this venue, or this competition I should say, the FIG Apparatus World Cup Series. Ollie Hockben here, it's great to have your company. And we are to get underway with 4 finals taking place in tandem. But first of all, we'll have the men's floor exercise. Then we'll have the pair of the women's vault, the men's pommel horse. And then the partnership of the women's uneven bars and the men's still ring. So the standard format for FIG Apparatus World Cup. So 1 final in isolation, followed by 4 finals taking place in 2 pairs. Here are the judges who will be presiding over the competition. This is the indoor hall complex at the Cairo International Stadium, the main stadium with a capacity of 75,000. It was built in 1960. And this one of the many indoor complexes that are part of the overall Cairo International Stadium. It can host as many as 17,000 people, mainly used actually for basketball, the main hall. Built in 1991 but renovated in earnest quite recently.
والآن يتفضل السادة اللاعبين.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the first finalist on men's floor exercise.
And so the introduction of the runners and riders in the men's floor exercise to get us underway at the second ever Cairo World Cup. The city that they call the City of 1,000 Minarets, one of the most historic and beautiful cities in the world, both the modern and the ancient world. A city of 21 million in its wider metropolitan area. It's been one of the great global trading centres for centuries. Time to trade some medals here in Cairo. Let's get underway.
يتنافس على جهاز الحركات الأرضية اللاعب الأول من الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية إيان لاسيك إليس.
Representing Israel,
Ian Lasik Ellis of the United States of America will be first to go, followed by Artem Dolgopiat of Israel, the reigning Olympic champion. We'll then have Paul Judah of the United States of America, the top performer in qualification, and Eamon Montgomery of Ireland.
Gentlemen, you may now warm up.
The 8th strongest in qualification. Those are the first 4. They will warm up first, then compete. We'll have the split warm-up format employed, as is customary now in all apparatus finals in FIG competition, a relatively recent change. The start list for the men's floor exercise and the top performer in qualification. The USA's Paul Judah will go 3rd in the order, but we do have the reigning Olympic champion Artem Dolgopiat in this final.
If this is the first time you tune in, you missed some great qualification sessions here in the magnificent Cairo International Stadium.
A look over the shoulder of Paul Judah, the 20-year-old from Illinois. All-around silver medalist at the 2021 Pan American Championships. That earned the United States of America an additional spot for the Olympiad. And good to see Judah out on the international scene. Eamon Montgomery, just 19. the second youngest competitor actually in this final. He was 6th in the competition in Doha, the most recent World Cup. Really has proven himself to be a most impressive young performer on the floor exercise. His teammate Adam Steele will go in the second half of the order. There's Irish representation coming later on in the pommel horse competition as well, courtesy of Rhys McClenaghan. So it is time to begin.
يستعد الآن على جهاز الحركات الأرضية من الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية إيان لاسيك إليس.
To the gymnast from the United States of America, Ian Lasik Ellis. "18-year-old from Dover in Massachusetts, and a senior international debut for him. Representing the United States of America, Ian Lasik Ellis, the second strongest performer in qualification, the 18-year-old from Massachusetts, senior international debutant, the undergraduate at Stanford University. A nice sense of fluidity in his flare work. Perhaps just a touch diagonal on his handstand axis, the Y-axis. That's a better tumbling pass. He does twist nicely. He's taken quite a few adjustments on each of his landings. Likely to be reflected in the execution score, which will probably not be quite as strong as it was in qualification. 14.166 was his overall qualification mark. But this is, after all, his first ever international final. He's done very well to qualify in such illustrious company and in such a high position too. He's only just recently begun his undergraduate studies at Stanford, set to graduate in 2025, and the floor champion at the Winter Cup in Texas at the start of this year.
World Cup, and also, of course, the first time that he qualifies for a final at a World Cup. Great job by Ian Lasik Ellis, qualifying for the final in his first ever World Cup competition. Who was born in
Let's have a look
Massachusetts.
back at the work of Ian Lasik Ellis of the
2003,
USA.
so he turns 19
Just landed a
this year.
touch overbalanced, a little forwards on that opening tumbling pass. This is flare work after the
Let's wait
second.
for his score, first score on men's floor exercise.
He did well coming in slightly low out of the twist position to stabilise himself. The execution in qualification was 8.466. one of the higher execution scores of any of the qualifying gymnasts for this final. Certainly was never going to be close to that. So 12.366 for Lacek Ellis of the USA. He's lost 3/10 of difficulty from qualification 2. Nonetheless, first time that we've seen him at senior international level.
And now on floor exercise, representing Israel.
To the
Artem
reigning
Dolgopiat.
Olympic champion, Artem Dolgopiat. Third strongest in qualification, but with a 7.966 execution. So if he stays on his feet, then this as the most difficult routine, one would expect to fly into the lead. Of course, it's not that simple. But he has just tremendous amplitude to his tumbling passes. Twists with such rapidity. Oh yes, lovely. Gets the knees so sharply into the body. Quite a big step forward as he lands that final tumbling pass. Artem Dolgopiat of Israel.
Olympic gold medalist of Tokyo here on the field of play. Artem Dolgopiat.
24-year-old, scored 14.066 in the qualification campaign.
Win a medal at the Olympics. And it was not just a medal, it was the gold medal. Artem Dolgopiat from Israel.
So many honours that he's picked up in his career. The first ever Israeli artistic gymnastics Olympic champion, the European champion in 2020. He's been a world championship medalist on 2 occasions. Won the gold medal at the Doha World Cup, the most recent World Cup, after being 6th in Cottbus. Just got the sense of a gymnast who wasn't quite there at the start of the season, but is now settled in.
Let's wait for his score on the floor.
And a look back at Artem Dolgopiat of Israel. Really gets time in the air. Very powerful athlete, but also an elegant one.
40.5 for Artem Dolgopiat.
There's no question this will be considerably higher than his qualification performance. Just how much? 14.5, that's how much. Difficulty score is the same, but he's gained around half a mark in execution and goes handsomely into the lead. The question now asked of the top qualifier, Paul Judah of the USA, 14.533 in qualification. The leading score, 14.5. It doesn't give him a great deal of room, especially when considering that he's giving away a little difficulty to Artem Dolgopiat. Execution like that will help though. Oh, he's low in that landing. Doesn't he do well to get back upright? Year-old from Deerfield in Illinois. Oh, he's got lovely height in his flares. Line of the hips well off the mat. From the United States of America, a pleased Paul Judah. Has he done enough to topple Artem Dolgopiat from first place? He was the top performer in qualification. He certainly has given a fine account of himself in the final. Young gentleman from a strong gymnastics family. Brother and sister, both accomplished gymnasts. Much like Ian Lasik-Ellis, he's a university undergraduate, but at Michigan, where he is a most skilled young engineer.
Was born in the state of Illinois. Paul Judah.
Those of you who watched the Friendship and Solidarity competition at the end of 2020 may remember him from there. Keeps his heels together in the twist position, toes very nicely pointed. It's good form, as is that very powerful Thomas Flares. Nice symmetry in his final tumbling pass as well. Now, how does this compare to the 8.633 execution that he produced in the preliminary round? It's going to need to be really sharp execution to tackle Dolgopiat's 14.5, and he isn't too far away at all. 14.333. His difficulty down by 2/10 from qualification. It will be interesting to see whether that is something they choose to pursue, the US delegation.
والآن على جهاز الحركات الأرضية من أيرلندا Eamon Montgomery.
Now representing Ireland, Eamon Montgomery, the 19-year-old from West Belfast, based now in Abbottstown in Dublin. 6th in Doha, wasn't that impressive? Comes into this as the 8th strongest performer in qualification, but with competitive difficulty. So a little piked on that landing, otherwise steady. Just a slightly splayed landing perhaps there, but his body position was compensated for by a lack of any steps. Oh, well done, that young man. Eamon Montgomery of Ireland, the 19-year-old, getting more and more accustomed to taking part in big World Cup finals. Young athlete from Salto Club in Lisbon. He's had a very interesting career. He's competed at events like the Reykjavik International Games, where he was 4th in the junior all-around competition. He also took part in the Northern European Championships in Cardiff, so although we haven't seen him on the FIG radar, if you will, he has been out there competing for a while. Very interesting background. As a young athlete, his family took him swimming, went to the gym by accident, basically just walked into the wrong place.
That's great.
And they were told it was a 2-year waiting list. He waited 18 months to take up the sport, and perhaps most fascinatingly, Eamon Montgomery's father is a joiner, most skilled at woodwork, and actually built him a lot of the equipment he needed to practice on at home, which helped enormously with what can sometimes be quite prohibitive costs when you're doing artistic
Please, ladies and
gymnastics.
gentlemen,
His
welcome
dad
the next 4 finalists
got his tools
of
out and built an
men's
awful
floor
lot.
exercise.
He was a little off axis, wasn't he, in his final tumbling pass? The score for Montgomery, though, is well up from qualification, 13.766, and all of that has gone into execution. Big improvement, so well done to him. Halfway mark then of the men's floor final, and leading the way is Artem Dolgopi out of Israel on 14.5. Then it is Paul Judah of the USA, 14.333, followed by Eamon Montgomery of Ireland, 13.766. The next 4 in the men's floor final.
Representing Greece, Antonios Tantalidis.
Greece's Antonios Tantalidis, the 5th strongest performer in qualification.
عمر محمد العربي.
Bronze medalist at the Doha World Cup last year. Big reaction for Omar Mohamed of Egypt, the man from Alexandria,
Ireland's
7th strongest
Adam
performer
Steele.
in qualification. Ireland's Adam Steele, the first Irish man to qualify for the all-around final at the European Championships. And the always excellent in execution Artur Davtyan of Armenia,
تبدأ الآن فترة
4th strongest in qualification. And there he is, Mr. History Maker, the first Egyptian man ever to qualify for the Olympic Games by winning the all-around title at the African Championships. He did it the week before the first Cairo World Cup. Adam Steele, the first Irish man to qualify for the European Championship all-around final. We have in there as well Artur Davtyan, who is the first Armenian man to win an artistic gymnastics medal at the Olympic Games. So a lot of national history makers in this floor final. And those of you who are watching on in the Republic of Ireland, you must be just thrilled to see how much representation there is from the Irish men's squad across the finals here in Cairo. There's your top 3 so far. And can he displace them? Omar Mohamed, 7th strongest in qualification. Final warm-up being completed by the last to go, which will be Artur Davtyan of Armenia. One of the most elegant and crisp gymnasts in the world.
Our next finalist is an athlete from Greece. Your attention for Antonios Tantalidis.
From Greece, Antonios Tantalidis, the 25-year-old from Marousi, youth Olympian, and a man who won his first international honours when he took a bronze on this piece in the Doha World Cup last year. Now, Tantalidis is lacking the high execution score of most of the field. Sorry, the high difficulty score, I should say, of most of the field. His execution, though, can be a delight. Does well to hold that landing. He was quite jackknifed. He's competed at over a dozen World Cup events. There were concerns about him when he had to have an operation on his right shoulder a couple of years ago. Missed a lot of time. There's a lot to enjoy about that from Antonios Stantalidis of Greece. His difficulty score in qualification, 5.6, the second lowest of any of the qualifying finalists.
Athlete from Greece who turned 25 this year. His only World Cup medal so far was a medal on floor exercise that he won at the World
Made
Cup
it
in
to his
Doha
first European
last
Championship
year
final in
Qatar.
3 attempts in
Antonios
Basel
Stantalidis
last year.
representing Greece.
I'm sure many of you remember that he was the 30th best in qualification and actually finished 19th in the final. It was a huge jump up. So he has shown himself across his international career to be somebody who performs well in finals.
The highest score so far in this final is still for Artyom Dogo.
Unsurprisingly, the
4.5.
cameras of Egyptian TV going to be focused on this man.
Judah from the United
What about the
States.
score for this man?
And Eamon Montgomery of Ireland. And there's the score of Stantalidis.
He looks pretty happy with it, does Antonios Stantalidis. And that is why 13.866. His execution is up by almost 2/10 from qualification. And he goes into the bronze medal position with 3 to go. So after this we will know the first medalist. Omar Mohamed of Egypt, the 23-year-old from Alexandria. The first Egyptian man ever to qualify for the Olympic Games. He did it the week before the inaugural Cairo World Cup last year. And with regret, he goes straight out of bounds on his first tumbling pass. Has got good difficulty. Oh, that's lovely. Super landing. Looking a lot more settled into this routine now. Twice an all-around champion continentally. That's a very good finish to the routine from Omar Mohamed of Egypt. Yes, he will take some penalties for that opening tumbling pass. Yeah, and his reaction is the reaction of a man who knows that he's done exactly as he did in qualification, where he picked up a 10th penalty as well. He could get himself into contention, he really could. But he might well find that he's just a fraction outside.
The gold medalist, or was the gold medalist, all around at the African Championships.
The next 2 to go produced 13.6 scores in qualification. Just a reminder that it's 13.866 that's holding
Was born
the
in
bronze
Alexandria,
medal position at the moment.
But he trains in a club in Cairo now. Omar Mohamed.
So Omar Mohamed of Egypt waiting for his score to come in. He has been a floor champion as well continentally. First in Namibia in 2018. The score 13.566. It's virtually the same as his qualification mark. He's down by less than a tenth.
Here's the floor routine. Just wait until we have a green light. There we go. The floor routine of
Adam Steele of the Republic of Ireland. .6 in qualification, the 6th best. And he'll take a 0.1 penalty as well, as he did in qualification. He's competed at 2 World Championships, 4 European Championships, the European Games. He's very experienced. Has made a number of World Cup finals. Well, some very good work from the 2 Irish gymnasts, Eamon Montgomery and Adam Steele. And again, smiles of satisfaction at the conclusion of his display, just like his teammate. The first Irish gymnast to make the European Championship all-around final. He actually trains at Piper's Vale in the United Kingdom, in Ipswich. Father born in Limerick. Good time for Irish men's gymnastics at the moment.
The first medalist in this men's floor final will be Artyom Dolgopiat. He will win at least.
Very nice form for a lot of his work. Adam Steele, 24-year-old. Good clearance in the Russian Venderswing position. Oh, for Adam Steele, it's 13.933. And he is in third place with 1 to go. And this could be a first ever World Cup medal for Adam Steele of Ireland. It all depends on whether this gymnast has got any extra difficulty to throw at this final. Artur Davtyan of Armenia, 13.6 in qualification, the 4th best, with an 8.8 execution score. That's no surprise. And a 4.8 difficulty score. Oh, and that uncharacteristic moment for Artur Davtyan is going to be very good news, one suspects, for Adam Steele of Ireland. the bronze medalist on vault at the Olympic Games. And that concludes then the men's floor final here at the Cairo World Cup. Artur Davtyan of Armenia, coming into this final on the strength of his excellent execution, is likely not to feature in the medals, and as a result Adam Steele of Ireland is likely to secure a bronze. Currently leading the way, Artem Dolgopiat of Israel, then Paul Judah of the USA, then Adam Steele of Ireland.
Dolgopiat and Judah will be on the podium, that's for sure. But who will be the third medalist?
Put it on myself. Three guys standing.
Instructions being given about the presentation to the top three, with probably no expectation that there'll be a change to things.
Waiting for the score of Artur Davtyan. 12.7 for Artur Davtyan, which means that
it's 12.7 and 7th place for Artur Davtyan of Armenia. And as a result of that, it is a second World Cup gold in a row for Artem Dolgopiat of Israel. He looked a touch wooden at the start of the season, fair to say, coming 6th in Cottbus, but then he has loosened up to take gold in Doha and a gold in Cairo. So the reigning Olympic champion back on track. Gold for Dolgopiat, silver for Judah, and bronze for Adam Steele of Ireland, for the first time ever a World Cup medalist. Huge congratulations to him. And also for Paul Judah of the USA. It's his first World Cup medal too. Just missing out Antonios Tantalidis of Greece. And a strong performance as well by Eamon Montgomery of Ireland. That's his best ever finish in a World Cup final. We're going to move straight on to the victory ceremony for this men's floor exercise.
شكرا للسادة الحكام على جهاز الحركات الأرضية.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, say goodbye to the judges.
And so the judges for the men's floor exercise are to depart as we look out over the impressive looking main hall at the Cairo International Stadium.
We have the impression that the judges have different plans, other plans. Yes, of course. A picture here on the field of play as a memory of this.
Now we remind ourselves of the gold medal winning performance from Artem Dolgopiat of Israel. 14.5 his score, well up from qualification.
Judges, thank you so much. You're free to leave.
Winner of the silver medal, the USA's Paul Judah. And the winner of the bronze medal for the first time ever, just like Paul Judah on a World Cup podium, Adam Steele of Ireland. Isn't that a lovely sight? The Cairo International Stadium main hall beautifully lit for this FIG Artistic Gymnastics World Cup. Oh, a little bit too beautifully lit. We had a spotlight going straight at one of the cameras there. But yes, it does televise magnificently. And we are going to enjoy in a short while the women's vault competition and the men's pommel horse. Now they are not due to get underway until the top of the hour, so that's in 21 minutes time. Whether they do start a little earlier, I'm not entirely sure. But before that we'll have the victory ceremony anyway for the men's floor competition.
السيدات والسادة، الآن مراسم تتويج نهائي بطولة كأس العالم لجمباز القاهرة 2022 على جهاز الحركات الأرضية.
Award ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, for the final on men's floor. Please welcome the medal winners.
It's now time for the victory ceremony in the men's floor competition at the Cairo World Cup of Artistic Gymnastics. Delighted athletes on the podium for the first time at an FIG competition.
Third place and bronze medal winner, representing Ireland, Adam Steele.
From Ireland, Adam Steele, for the first time ever a World Cup medalist. He came in as the 6th best performer in qualification, added 3 1/3 to his difficulty score. It's a brilliant performance from the 24-year-old.
For the United States, Paul Judah.
Paul Judah of the United States of America, the 20-year-old, taking his first ever FIG World Cup medal. And there's no shame in being beaten by the gentleman who's just beaten him.
والمركز الأول والميدالية الذهبية.
And first place and gold medal winner, representing Israel, Artem Dolgopiat.
Taking the title though, Artem Dolgopiat of Israel. Doing it with a score of 14.5 for his second gold medal of the season. 2 out of 3 World Cup titles. And we'll now hear the national anthem of Israel.
National anthem of Israel.
For the second time this season, the national anthem of Israel played for Artem Dolgopiat.
Dolgopiat, the first medalist at the World Cup in Cairo 2022. Gymnasts,
And the
congratulations.
medalists depart. And we will continue with our competition.
وشكرا للاعبين الفائزين.
Well, the next final is the women's vault, which will be taking place alongside the men's pommel horse competition. The competition schedule indicates it's due to start in just over 15 minutes' time. Whether they will bring that forward or not, we'll discover in just a short while. Allows us the chance to remind ourselves of just what happened in this men's floor final. Welcome back to the Cairo International Stadium main hall, where the next two finals are due to get underway in around 15 minutes' time. So you've time, I suspect, to pop the kettle on. And then we'll be returning to action here with the women's vault and men's pommel horse competitions. So see you soon.
السيدات والسادة، نرحب بالسادة الحكام على جهاز حصان القفز في نهائي بطولة كأس العالم القاهرة 2022.
Welcome back to the Cairo International Stadium and the main hall as we are to get underway with the women's vault and men's pommel horse competitions.
Please welcome the judges.
We begin with the introduction of the judges who will be assessing the difficulty and execution of these routines for the top 8 performers in the qualification round. City of Cairo, founded in 969 AD, but its history goes well back before that. The likes of Heliopolis, Memphis, and Old Cairo.
الآن نرحب باللاعبات المشاركات في نهائي بطولة كأس العالم للجمباز على حصان القفز.
And we welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the first finalists.
The introduction of the first 4 taking to the field of play in the women's vault and men's pommel horse competitions. As ever, the split warm-up will be in operation.
يتنافسن على جهاز حصان القفز اللاعبة الأولى من المنتخب المصري نانسي طمان.
We begin with Nancy Taman of Egypt, the 27-year-old reigning African champion. And then we have Bianca Sherman of Hungary, the first reserve. Laurie Denomé of Canada,
And
third strongest
Slovenia,
in qualification.
Jasha Kiselev.
Jasha Kiselev of Slovenia, champion
Gymnasts,
in
you can now warm up.
Cottbus.
تبدأ الآن فترة الإحماء.
We have the champions of Cottbus and Doha set to take to the competition floor in this vault
So
final.
here's the first women's final at this World Cup in Cairo. And as usual, we start.
And we'll just
with
bring
the
you
vault
confirmation in a
final.
moment that
First
Bianca Sherman has
Apparatus
come in
the
for
Olympic
Aruna
order.
Reddy of India, who was the second strongest performer in qualification. So the start list for the women's vault competition. Nancy Taman of Egypt will get us underway. Bianca Sherman comes in as the first reserve. Top qualifier is Oksana Chusovitna of Uzbekistan. And she will go 6th in the order.
السيدات والسادة، أيضا نرحب في نهائي بطولة كأس العالم للجمباز بالسادة الحكام.
We do also have
على
the men's
جهاز
pommel horse
حصان
competition to
الحلب.
take place at the same time. Meanwhile, the
We also welcome the
warm-ups
judges on men's
taking
pommel
place in the
horse.
women's vault. Laurie Denomé of Canada, all-around bronze medalist at the virtual national championships last May. I think we have missed the introduction of the first 4 for the men's pommel horse competition, so apologies for that, but I can tell you they are Rhys McClenaghan of Ireland, Jaktan Fuji of
الآن
Malaysia.
نرحب بلاعبين المشاركين في نهائي كأس العالم على جهاز حصان الحلق.
Ilyas Azizov of Azerbaijan and Nariman Kurbanov of Kazakhstan.
Welcome, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
here they
The
come.
athletes
They have
on
brought them out
man's
again.
pole horse. Representing Ireland, Rhys McClenaghan.
Top qualifier, Ireland's Rhys McClenaghan.
From Malaysia, Fujitan.
ومن
Jaktan
كازاخستان
Fuji
إلياس
of
عزيزوف.
Malaysia, Southeast Asian Games champion.
وأيضا من
Ilyas
كازاخستان
Azizov
ناريمان
of
كوربانوف.
Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan's Nariman Kurbanov.
تبدأ الآن فترة الإحماء. Athletes, your warm-up has
I should
started.
say Kazakhstan's Ilyas Azizov, my apologies. So 2 gymnasts from Kazakhstan represented in this men's pommel horse competition. And in the top 4 we have the top 2. So the first 4 will contain the top 2 performers in qualification. Rhys McClenaghan of Ireland and Nariman Kurbanov of Kazakhstan. We have from Doha, the last World Cup, the top 3 qualifiers here. So the podium in Doha, the same as the top 3 qualifiers. Will it be reflected in the final positions? Here's the gentleman leading the way. The European champion, World Championship bronze medalist, Commonwealth Games champion. Gentleman who had a tough 2021, but he started this season well. Silver medal in Doha. Jaktan Fuji of Malaysia, Southeast Asian Games champion in 2017. Meanwhile, we have the women's vault taking place as well. Warm-ups coming to a close there. 4th World Cup event for Tan Fuji. Is it going to be more glory for Nancy Taman of Egypt in this stadium? She took her first ever World Cup honours when she won the inaugural Cairo World Cup vault title. Unexpectedly in this final, Janka Sherman of Hungary and join her teammate Chenga Bachkoy later. This is Ilyas Azizov of Kazakhstan. He's been a World Cup medalist on a couple of occasions. And that, of course, is Nancy Taman, the first ever Egyptian woman to make a World Championship final. If you're just joining the action, welcome to the main hall at the Cairo International Stadium. It's the women's vault final and the men's pommel horse final about to get underway. Nancy Taman of Egypt to begin this vault competition. the reigning African Games vault champion, finalist at the World Championships last year, and the champion at the first ever Cairo World Cup. Ooh, problematic with her first vault. Indicating she was going for the Yurchenko layout full. Double twisting Yurchenko was
Alexandria.
Was actually attempted. So that big step up from the qualification.
She won the gold medal here at this World Cup on vault last year, 2021.
A big upgrade attempted by Nancy Taman, but wasn't really close at all to getting it. She went for the Yurchenko layout full in qualification, that carrying a 4.2 difficulty. I'll try to bring you the score for that first vault for Nancy Taman if we can. The 27-year-old is a graduate of commerce from Alexandria University. Now, with the first vault having not really worked from an upgrade point of view, what will she do with the second, which was a 4 difficulty in qualification?
القفزة الثانية للاعبة المصرية نانسي طمان.
Well, apologies for the fact we haven't got a score coming in here. Looks as though there's quite some delay. Oh, a problematic beginning to this women's vault final. There's a lengthy delay to the judging process is impeding Nancy Taman undertaking her second vault. Gymnast 2 though from Alexandria does train in Cairo. Didn't actually compete at the last African Championships, which were in this city. But what a moment it was when she became the first Egyptian woman to make a World Championship final in Kitakyushu last year. First of any gender for 71 years after Ali Zaki took part in the still rings final in the 1950 World Championships. And the wait continues. And she is from the great commercial city, the trading city of Alexandria, where many a ship waited for an age to depart port and to take goods around the ancient world. And so Nancy Taman stands upon the metaphorical jetty waiting to board the second vault here in this Cairo World Cup. Hopefully the waters will be calmer than they were in that first vault for her. As I said, the first Egyptian woman in a World Championship final, the first of either gender for 71 years, which was also when she did her last vaults in this World Cup. And there was the first vault, upgrading from the Yurchenko layout full, which did in qualification, to the double twisting Yurchenko. And welcome to what I promise you is still day one of the Cairo World Cup. The second Cairo World Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and we have a scoring for Nancy Taman, 12.333. So she's down by a tenth from her qualification performance. Here goes the second vault, indicating the handspring front pike, which is exactly as she delivers. So more secure with the simpler handspring front pike.
On pommel horse for Ireland, Rhys McClanahan.
27-year-old, unlikely to repeat her achievement of taking the vault title in Cairo this time around, but she'll always be the first. To Rhys McClanahan of Ireland, the top qualifier in this men's pommel horse competition. 15.066 was his score, way above Nariman Kurbanov. What a lovely line he's established. Straight like a javelin. Good Russian vendor swings. This is very elegant gymnastics from Rhys McClanahan. If he can continue this, a very good case is being made. Had a few issues going into his dismount, but otherwise a most impressive display from Ireland's Rhys McClanahan, who just relives that dismount as if asking himself what exactly just happened there. Well, what happened before that was a very nice routine.
Gold medalist, or not gold medalist, medalists.
Little camaraderie between him and the Kazakhstan camp.
Rhys McClanahan representing Ireland.
Gentleman who was fifth in the European Championship final, coming in as the top qualifier, seventh at the Olympic Games, coming in as the second strongest qualifier, missed the World Championship final, but what he has done is start this season very encouragingly with that silver medal at the Doha World Cup. A look back at the work of Rhys McClanahan of Ireland. He does keep his heels very tightly pressed together. For the most part, this was a geometrically lovely display. Very little middle bend. Shows extraordinary core strength. Meanwhile, we look back at the second vault of Nancy Taman of Egypt. This handspring front pike, Just a little off in terms of the rotation on landing.
Look at the score for Rhys McClanahan.
Slightly leaning backwards.
14.966.
For Rhys McClanahan, it's 14.966, just down by 1/10 from qualification in the execution component, but he is the pacemaker, and that's a very good mark. It's going to be hard to beat that, very hard to beat that. He has already won 5 World Cup medals, 3 of them gold.
Waiting for the score on vault. We will go to pommel horse representing Malaysia.
Some issues clearly happening with the vaulting score. Sorry about that. We'll bring you them as soon as we can. Now to Jack Tan Fuji of Malaysia. 25-year-old from Terengganu in Eastern Peninsula, Malaysia, the Southeast Asian Games pommel horse champion from 2017. 8th strongest in qualification here. Starts with very nice height, good clearance over the pommels. Just loses his body and leg form a touch in the Russian vendor swing. He's dropping a little low. His Magyar Shivado work, though, is solid. That's a good routine from Jack Tan Fuji of Malaysia.
Representing Malaysia.
Very good display. 4th World Cup event for him. He was also a team silver medalist at those Southeast Asian Games. He's competed at the Asian Games as well. Haven't seen him since the Melbourne World Cup a couple of years ago, where he was 5th. Graduate of psychology. His coach, On Kwang Tung, was a pommel horse specialist. That is why Tan himself chose to focus on that particular apparatus. It wasn't really a master plan, it's just that he happened to be working alongside somebody who really excelled at that.
Representing Hungary, Janka Sherman.
We haven't had the scoring for Nancy Taman. Apologies for that. We'll try to get that for you. Now to Bianca Sherman, the reserve gymnast of Hungary. Sherman, who scored 12.199 combined in qualification.
The score for our man from Malaysia, 13.9.
She was the silver medalist, Sherman, at the Cairo World Challenge Cup last year. Full twisting Yurchenko vault.
Second vault for Hungary's Bianca Sherman.
.9 the score for Bianca Sherman's first vault. She's upgraded significantly from qualification. indicating the layout Sukahara vault.
والآن على جهاز حصان
Sherman, I
الحلق
believe, did do that in qualification.
إلياس عزيزوف.
From Kazakhstan, Ilyas Azizov, 6th strongest in qualification. He has won a couple of World Cup medals, including a pommel horse silver in Copa in 2019. It's dropping a little low. Might have imminent collision with the pommels. Just about managed to get through that with some real strength. That was a good display from Ilyas Azizov.
Ilyas Azizov,
undergraduate
representing,
at the
Kazakhstan.
Kazakh
He
Academy of
qualified
Sport and
for the
Tourism.
men's pommel horse
Shortly be
final two.
completing his degree.
We have a
He has
score for
participated
Bianca Sherman.
in 3 World Championships. .75 in total for Bianca Sherman. So she's well up from qualification and goes into the lead.
على جهاز حصان
Representing
القفز من
Canada,
كندا،
Laurie
لوري
Denome.
دانومي.
3rd strongest performer in qualification. 21-year-old from Quebec. She was a non-travelling alternate for the Olympic Games. That's a good vault to get things underway from Laurie Denome of Canada. Very nice line.
Laurie Denome from Canada with her first vault. We have a score on pommel horse for Ilyas Azizov, 14.066. Let's wait for the second vault of the Canadian finalist.
We haven't seen her at a great deal of international FIG competitions. She did compete at the Sombate World Cup in 2018, was a vault silver medalist there. For Ilyas Azizov, 14.066. That has him in second place. We're just waiting on the score for Tan Fuji. Handspring front pike half vault from Denome. It's an interesting way of executing it, twisting before the
Almost ready for
salto,
the second vault.
not after. 12.633.
There she goes.
The
Representing
score for
Canada,
Denome.
Laurie Denome.
So she's up a little from qualification. Full twisting Yurchenko vault, nicely executed by Denome.
على جهاز حصان الحلقة من كازاخستان
Nariman Kurbanov of Kazakhstan. Second strongest performer in qualification. .633 his score. Reece McClenaghan 14.966. Oh, he never looked quite right, did he, Kurbanov? Beginning was rather tentative, just didn't seem to have the right position.
Nariman Kurbanov from Kazakhstan.
Has got lovely straight legs, but he's not able to get the attack right. The champion at the Doha World Cup, Nariman Kurbanov, off twice on this apparatus. There's so much, isn't there, about his pommel horse work that is so elegant.
Nariman Kurbanov representing.
But it just didn't happen today on a couple of occasions too, and that really, one suspects, has allowed Reece McClenaghan to breathe a sigh of relief. Now still to come is Harajun Medinian in the second half of the competition, but Kurbanov was the major challenger to Reece McClenaghan. Laurie Denome 12.849. So Laurie Denome of Canada in a good position.
Slovenia on vault, Jasha Kiselev.
Jasha Kiselev of Slovenia, fourth strongest in qualification. She won gold in Cottbus. The Yurchenko layout 1.5 from Jasha Kiselev to get us underway. So she's already gone for an extra 4/10 of difficulty from the preliminary round.
Vault is definitely her best apparatus. .166 is the score for our athlete from Kazakhstan, Nariman Kurbanov.
Kiselev, who was fifth in the vault competition at the European Championships. She has won 21 World Cup medals. Fantastic, isn't it, to see a gymnast who's been achieving their best work at this stage of their career, as the score for Tan is in of 13.9. Sorry that it took us a while to bring you that number, but it's the same as he delivered in qualification. Third place as things stand for Tan. The halfway mark of the competition, so already an improvement for him on qualification. Now 13.3 for Kiselev. She's up by about 2/3 of a mark from qualification, as we would have expected with that extra 4/10 of difficulty. Yes, that's very good vaulting. Very good vaulting from Slovenia's Jasha Kiselev.
And a little hug with the coach, yes,
and
of course.
Certainly likely to put herself into contention to take another vault title, although we do have the top qualifier still to come.
Happy to have
Nariman Kurbanov, 12.166 for him. Have another look at the handspring front tuck full from Chasha Kiselev. Hasn't she got a lovely line on those vaults? She's right down the centre of the tram lines.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the next
More
finalist.
secure landing. Difficulty 4/10 lower than her previous vault, but her execution is going to be strong. Those are the top three currently in the men's pommel horse competition. Rhys McClenaghan is the leader. Out come the next four in the women's vault competition, including the top qualifier.
أيضا على جهاز حصان الحلق نرحب بباقي اللاعبين في نهائي بطولة كأس العالم للجمباز على جهاز حصان الحلق.
And here are four more finalists on pommel horse.
If you're just joining the competition, we're at the halfway mark of the women's vault and men's pommel horse finals here in Cairo at the third FIG World Cup of 2022. And leading the way, I suppose, in terms of qualification scores in this group is Harutun Medinyan of Armenia.
Representing Hungary, Chengebachkai.
Chengebachkai of Hungary.
From Uzbekistan,
We just missed there, but she was the sixth strongest in qualification. She was the top performer in qualifying. Oksana Chusovitna of Uzbekistan. Daria Yasinskaya of Kazakhstan, seventh strongest qualifier. And Protista Samantha of India, twice a national champion, the fifth strongest in qualification. Ahmad Abu Al-Soud of Jordan, fifth strongest in pommel horse qualification, followed by the European champion from 2020, Matvey Petrov, so an Asian champion and a European champion going one after each other. And then Harutun Medinyan of Armenia, the top qualifier in this group of four, the third best overall. Abdullah Azimov of Uzbekistan, seventh strongest Asian Games silver medalist in 2014.
Gymnasts, you can now warm up.
Some very good names in this men's pommel horse in terms of World Cup honours, the likes of Ahmad Abu Al-Soud, who's a very stylish gymnast. Matvey Petrov, the veteran, the European champion. And Harutun Medinyan, the 37-year-old who's been on European Championship and World Championship podia. Now, here's a new face on the scene. Oksana Chusovitna of Uzbekistan. You might have heard of her at just 47. She has made her 800th comeback, or approximately 800th comeback to the sport, and won the gold medal in Doha in the vault competition. Daria Yasinskaya of Kazakhstan, the 17-year-old, makes her senior international debut. He does not make his senior international debut. The Albanian, Matvey Petrov, the first ever Albanian to win a medal at the European Championships. And Protista Samantha of India, from Howrah in West Bengal in the far east of the country, makes her senior international debut. And she was the fifth strongest in qualification. We'll get underway in the second half with Chengebachkai. Always in contention is Chengabachkoy, the Youth Olympic Games silver medalist. She has won 8 vault golds in the last year alone. I bet Dalia Yasinskaya can barely believe, the gymnast, that she's going to be vaulting afterwards. I wonder how much she knew about the legendary Oksana Chusovitina. Abdullah Azimov of Uzbekistan, a man from Tashkent who was a silver medalist at the Asian Games in Incheon. Splendid place, Incheon. Host city for, among other things, the Aerobic Gymnastics World Championships of 2016. It will be Chengabachkoy to get this vault final resumed.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hungary's
on gold,
Chenga
representing
Bachkoy, the
Hungary,
5th to go in the women's
Bachkoy.
vault final. Silver medalist at the Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires. She won 8 vault gold medals in 2021. And she has stability to her Yurchenko layout 1.5. And that would represent for her a significant difficulty upgrade from qualification, where she was the 6th best overall.
Getting ready for the second vault.
13.366 for
Hungarian
Bachkoy.
finalist, Chengabachkoy.
So she's up by 4/10 from the qualification round. All of that has gone on to the additional difficulty. Layout Sukahara full being indicated. Little loss of form
Chengabachkoy from
in the
Hungary.
air from
She
Chengabachkoy,
won her
perhaps more than a
very
little loss
first
of
World
form.
Cup medal here in this very stadium in Cairo last year.
6 times she's
على
been
جهاز
a
حصان
World Cup
الحلق
medalist,
من الأردن
including a
أحمد
silver
أبو سعود.
in Doha and a bronze medal in Cairo, the inaugural Cairo World Cup. It was how she got that very good run going in 2021. Now Ahmad Abu Al Soud of Jordan. Oh, lost his legs but got them back together well. 5th strongest in qualification. Good strength Well recovered, Ahmad Abu Al Saud of Jordan. The Asian champion from 2019.
أحمد أبو سعود.
The reigning three-time Arab champion as well.
He seems to be happy after that routine on pommel horse. Ahmad Abu Al Saud from Jordan.
Ahmad Abu Al Saud of
Back to the
Jordan has
final, the
won
women's
2
vault final.
World Cup medals, including a gold in Mersin. In 2021 looked to be in a little discomfort. Now we have
Chesha
confirmation
Kiselev
finally
saying
of
hello to the
Chesha
world.
Kiselev's score, 13.183 in total, has her quite clearly in the lead. Apologies that it's taking a while to get some of these scores in. We'll also try to bring you the number for Chenga Bachko as
now
well.
on vault, Oksana Shusovitina.
Now to Oksana Chusovitna of Uzbekistan, the 47-year-old who returns to competition, which she says is for the Asian Games. The gymnast who won 2 World Championship titles back in 1991. It is an extraordinary accomplishment. She's won 5 major vault titles.
8-time Olympian. She won medals at, you name it, every kind of competition, World Cups,
Let's bring
Continental
layout front
Championships,
half
World
vault from
Championships
Oksana
and the
Chusovitna.
Olympics. And, oh yes, she's retired officially, but unofficially. Well, why not?
Gymnast who won
Playing with the
the
other athletes at the World
Soviet
Cup,
Union
and we
Junior
love it.
National Championship
Oksana
title in
Shusovitina.
1988.
Here she goes.
12.7
Second vault for Oksana.
the score. Oh, that was well executed.
المخضرمة.
Very good vault from Oksana Chusovitna.
المعنى الحقيقي أن العمر مجرد رقم.
12.7 for the first. This was the stronger vault in qualification.
46 عام مليء بالإنجازات. عام 2000 شاركت في دورة الألعاب الأولمبية في أستراليا. 2008 دورة الألعاب 29 بكين الصين. تحية قوية للاعبة أوكسانا من أوزبكستان صاحبة ال 46 عام.
Sukahara
على
layout
جهاز حصان
full
الحلق
from
من ألبانيا
Oksana Chusovitna.
ماتفيي بيتروف.
Yes, much more secure. .533 for Ahmad Abu Al Saud. That's got him in contention, very much in contention.
على جهاز حصان الحلق من ألبانيا
Matvey Petrov of Albania is the sixth to go in this pommel horse final. Fourth strongest performer in qualification. Good, well-established, rapid flares from Petrov. A lot to enjoy about that from Matvei Petrov of Albania.
Matvei Petrov from Albania, the 2020 European champion on
31-year-old who's enjoying his best work at one of the latter stages of his career. Goodness knows what the latter stage of hers will be. 12.95. Chisavidna goes into second place.
The gold, the silver and the bronze will be very
behind
expensive here
Chasha
in
Kiselev.
Cairo. On vaults, representing Kazakhstan, Daria Yasinskaya.
Daria Yasinskaya of Kazakhstan. 17-year-old senior international debutant. Just had a slightly compressed landing. Seventh strongest performer in qualification. This is actually her first competition since the Junior World Championships of 2019 at international level.
Daria Yasinskaya, this is
and she only
her
competed once
very
in
first
2019.
She did the Junior World Championships
Handspring
in Hungary a
front
couple
pike
of
vaults.
years ago, and some Junior Asian Championships, but never a World Cup. 14.066 for Matvei Petrov. No medal for him here in Cairo.
.433
There's the second vault
for Daria Yasinskaya.
from Kazakhstan.
So she's up by just under a tenth from qualification. Better execution. Implementing a layout Tsukahara.
Daria Yasinskaya.
Daria Yasinskaya of Kazakhstan. Asian Junior Championship silver medalist on vault. And that was several years ago.
Two more gymnasts on pommel horse. The highest score is still for Rhys McLenaghan from Ireland. Followed by Ahmad Abu Al-Soud.
Well, we're waiting for the score for Matvei Petrov of Albania. Again, I can only apologise for the lack of clarity to so many of the scores in these two finals. .066 for Petrov. Has him in fourth position. He's down just a fraction from qualification. And as a result, loses the execution tiebreak with Ilyas Azizov of Kazakhstan. Two to go. So that means it is a guaranteed medal for Rhys McLenaghan of Ireland, his sixth World Cup honours.
Representing Armenia, Harutyun
Now, can
Merdinyan.
Harutyun Merdinyan of Armenia get himself onto the podium? Third strongest in qualification, the 37-year-old from Yerevan. He was a bronze medalist in Doha. Can he do it again here? Competed in the World Championship final in Kitakyushu. And he's looking Very secure, nice quick hand placement in the Russian vendor swing position. Didn't give a great deal away. Just got to watch these legs don't go too low. Magyar Shivado combination executed with the sort of clarity we expect from him. Oh, well done. Harutun Medinyan of Armenia. Watching on and enjoying that as well. The Jordanian delegation, they were thrilled by the quality of that work, even though it could threaten their gentleman in second place.
Gold medal
Good
winner
camaraderie
at the European Championships.
And good work from Harutun Medinyan.
And still going strong.
He's such a physically fit chap.
After
He does a
all these
lot of
years.
swimming as part of his cardiovascular conditioning. He looks as though he hasn't done anything at all. He's so relaxed. He's breathing absolutely fine. Great gymnast. Sixth place for Yasinskaya, 12.399. The overall score. And to the final
And here
vaulter.
is India on vault. Pratisha Samantha.
Pratisha Samantha of India, the 18-year-old from the far east of India, West Bengal. Senior international debut for the fifth strongest in qualification. Handspring front pike half, the indicated vault, and good amplitude.
Pratisha Samantha.
Twice a national
India
champion.
in this final on vault.
She has just recently moved to Delhi to be coached by the same coach who works with Deepa Karmakar, who's won a number of World Cup titles on vault. She's been a highly regarded prospect in India since winning 3 back-to-back gold medals at the India Youth Games in 2019.
– 14.533 for Harutun Medinyan from Armenia. Great score for him.
12.7 the score for Samantha. She's up by a 10th from qualification.
Pratisha Samantha from India on vault.
Second vault by Samantha. Just a little wild with some of her form, but her line was very good. And that's promising from Pratisha Samantha of India. Oh, she is hobbling away though, which is a sad thing to see. This teenager making her senior international debut has obviously been hurt attempting that second vault. And she looks as though she's feeling a fair amount of discomfort as well. One imagines medical attention will be swift for Pratisha Samantha. Meanwhile, Harutun Medinyan scores 14.533 to go into second place.
We have a score
Ahead of Ahmad Abu Al Sood on the execution tiebreak.
Pratisha from India, which means that we
Bring
will
you
hear
confirmation
the
of that.
Slovenian national anthem. The gold for Jasha
In a
Kizelev,
moment.
silver for Oksana Shusov-Vitina on vault, and the bronze medal is for the athlete from
To
Canada.
Abdullah Azimov
Lori
of
Dunovi.
Uzbekistan, the 7th strongest in qualification. Silver medalist on pommel horse at the Asian Games in 2014. He's competed at 14 World Cup events. Won his first medal at the most recent one in Varna. And just the legs failed him as he was coming to the end of that sequence, but the signs were there before. A case of nearly but not quite for Abdullah Azimov of Uzbekistan, who scored 14.033 in the preliminary round.
Ring in the new year with $250 off all international holiday packages. Minimum spend applies. Treat yourself to a new adventure. Book now at Webjet.
The last score comes in and it is 12.816 in total for Pratisa Samanta of India.
شكرا للسادة الحكام.
And as a result of that, we have ourselves a podium, and it is the title for Chasha Kiselev of Slovenia, her
Judges, thank
second
you so much.
World
You
Cup
may now
title
leave.
of 2022. The silver medal to Oksana Chusevitna of Uzbekistan, who's having a rather good time, and the bronze to Laurie Denome of Canada. And once this score has come in, we'll know who is going to be joining. Well, there we go. 13.066. I was going to say who's going to be joining Rhys McClenaghan. And on the podium, we also have Ahmad Abu Al Soud. And there is Harajun Madinian as well, who should be one of those on the podium, I believe. We'll just have to check that. It is the title for Rhys McClenaghan of Ireland. That is for sure his fourth World Cup gold medal. And we have confirmation of the final standings in the pommel horse competition. Rhys McClenaghan of Ireland takes the title. Harajun Madinian of Armenia wins silver, and Ahmad Abu Al Soud of Jordan takes the bronze. The final standings in the women's vault competition: bronze for Laurie Denome of Canada, silver for Oksana Chusevitna of Uzbekistan, and the gold for Chasha Kiselev of Slovenia. We have 2 more finals to come, the women's uneven bars and the men's still rings, but we'll have the victory ceremonies first to bring you. Welcome back to the
السيدات والسادة.
beautiful setting of the Cairo
الآن
International Stadium in the main
مراسم
hall,
تتويج
where we're going to bring you
نهائي
some
بطولة
victory
كأس
ceremonies
العالم
before the
للقفاز
action
الفني
continues.
النساء على جهاز حصان القفز.
And we are ready for the medal award ceremony for the women's vault final. Please welcome the medal winners.
تتفضل اللاعبات.
It's now time for the victory ceremony in the women's vault competition at the second Cairo World Cup.
المركز الثالث والميدالية البرونزية.
Third place and bronze medal winner representing Canada, Laurie Denomé.
The bronze medal to Canada's Laurie Denomé, the third strongest in qualification. And she wins yet another World Cup medal.
المركز
Second on vault.
الثاني والميدالية الفضية.
Second place and silver medal winner for Uzbekistan, Oksana Shusovitina.
Retirement? What retirement? Oksana Chusovitna of Uzbekistan. 47-year-old has made a most successful comeback. She won gold in Doha. She now takes a medal here in Cairo. That's 5 consecutive World Cup medals she's won.
And first place and gold medal winner representing Slovenia, Češa Kiselev.
But it's 2 out of 3 this year for Češa Kiselev of Slovenia, champion in Cottbus. And now the champion in Cairo. A brilliant start to her season. 2021 was her best year. It might be that 2022 is going to be even stronger.
والآن مع السلام الوطني.
And we will hear the sound of the Slovenian national anthem.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, stand
Češa
up for the
Kiselev
national
for the
anthem
4th
of
time at a World
Slovenia.
Cup event. Češa Kiselev of Slovenia.
Češa Kiselev,
wins her
Oksana
4th World Cup
Shusovitina
title.
and Laurie Denomé.
Joining her
What
is
a
Oksana
wonderful
Chusovitna
podium.
and Laurie Denomé.
Gymnasts,
And I must
congratulations.
make a
Thank you
correction.
so much
I
for
believe
being
I
here
said
with us in
Oksana
Cairo.
Chusovitna was 47. I meant to say she is turning 47 in June. Feels rather indecorous to add an extra year to somebody who's already 46 and was already the oldest gymnast ever to compete at the Olympic Games.
الآن مراسم تتويج.
Don't worry, she'll still be competing when she's
نهائي
47,
بطولة
that's
كأس
obvious.
العالم لجمباز الفني
She'll probably still be
رجال
competing when she's
على
50.
جهاز حصان الحلق.
And now to the victory ceremony for the men's pommel horse competition.
Time, ladies and gentlemen, for the award ceremony for the men's pommel horse final.
Back on top, a man whose 2021 was far from ideal, but whose 2022 is looking impressive.
يتفضل اللاعبين.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the medal winners.
It's now time for the victory ceremony in the men's pommel horse competition at the 2022 Cairo World Cup of Artistic Gymnastics. It's a good day for veteran silver medalists in Cairo. From Jordan, Ahmad Abu Al-Soud, the bronze medalist, the pommel horse specialist, jumps up 2 places from his performance in qualification. Total difference from last time in Cairo, where he was the top qualifier and finished 6th. It's a great transformation for the 26-year-old. From Armenia, Harutyun Mardinian, the silver medalist, the 37-year-old, took bronze at the World Cup in Doha. He's gone 1 step further here in Cairo, proof that he is still able to produce showpiece performances despite being in his late 30s. But a job well done to Rhys McClenaghan of Ireland, the young man from County Down. He wins his 4th World Cup title, his 6th World Cup medal overall. And in honour of Rhys McClenaghan, we shall hear the national anthem of Ireland.
Please stand up, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem of Ireland.
Patrick Heaney's 1910 composition played in honour of Rhys McClenaghan of Ireland.
ألف مبروك وشكرا للاعبين.
And competition is now to continue with the women's uneven bars and the men's still rings finals to bring to a close our coverage on day 1 here in Cairo. So do not go too far away because the bars and still rings finals will begin in just a short while. Gives us a chance to look back at some of the moments of the day. I'm not sure that was one of them, but what he did on the pommel horse was. Back on top, Rhys McClenaghan. And what about her? Jasha Kiselev once again. Fine day for the veterans. Splendid 12 months for her.
الآن نرحب السادة الحكام على جهاز المتوازي بنات.
We are ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the next set of finals. Please welcome the judges.
Welcome back to the main hall in the Cairo International Stadium. We have two more finals to take place on this first day of competition in Egypt. The women's uneven bars and the men's still rings. And here come the determiners of difficulty and the executors of execution.
نرحب أيضا بالسادة الحكام على جهاز الحلق.
And here are the judges for rings.
Following the uneven bars judges, the still rings officials.
الآن نرحب باللاعبات المتأهلات لنهائي بطولة كأس العالم للجمباز على جهاز المتوازي.
Please welcome the first finalists on uneven bars.
Out come the first four to take to the uneven bars. Leading the way, the first gymnast from her nation to win a gold medal in an FIG competition, which she did in a World Cup in Hungary.
جميعا بالمتأهلين من اللاعبين في نهائي بطولة كأس العالم للجمباز الفني رجال على جهاز الحلق.
And here are the next four finalists, the first finalists on rings.
The first half of the still rings field, led out by an absolute veteran, and somebody who's looking to make it 3 out of 3 podium appearances in the World Cups this season. Behind him is the reigning national champion.
Presenting you the finalists on uneven bars. From South Africa, Caitlin Rosecrans.
Caitlin Rosecrans of South Africa, the third strongest performer in qualification and the Olympian. Egypt's Yana Abdel Salam, 7th strongest in qualification. Her World Cup debut, she is from this city. Daniela Petrona of Ukraine, who has looked terrific in her limited World Cup events. And Dora Aripova of Uzbekistan, the 6th strongest in qualification. On the still rings, Vahagan Davtyan of Armenia, the 2nd strongest in qualification and champion in Doha. Alex Diab of the United States of America, the reigning national champion. Cyprus's Socrates Pilakouris,
And finally, representing Armenia,
8th strongest in qualifying.
Avetissian.
And another Armenian, Artur Avetissian, the reigning World Universities champion.
Gymnasts, you may now warm up. Two more finals today, uneven bars and rings. Always spectacular, always exciting.
So to the women's uneven bars, where we will commence with Caitlin Rosecrans of South Africa, the 20-year-old who competed at the Olympic Games in Tokyo, setting an all-around personal best. The first South African to qualify for the Games since 2004. The start list for the women's uneven bars, and the top performer in qualification, Canada's Laurie Denome. She goes 5th in the order. Alex Diab of the United States of America, not just the reigning national champion, but a collegiate champion. The start list for the men's still rings final, and the top performer in qualifying, Ibrahim Çolak of Turkey, goes at number 6, the world champion from 2019. It's a very strong field, some great ring specialists to come. Difficulty-wise on the uneven bars, the competitor that you're looking at now warming up, Daniela Petrona, posted the highest D score in the preliminary round, 5.3. But the execution of Laurie Denome was superior. It is the sort of collection of qualification numbers that could likely have a bit of a mockery made of when we get to the final. My word, how she has impressed. Especially with what is going on in her world. It's just extraordinary. Dora Aripova will be the last to go in the first half. 18-year-old from Tashkent.
Preparing for the first athlete on uneven bars.
We begin with Caitlin Rooskrantz of South Africa in this women's uneven bars final.
Caitlin Rooskrantz.
The gold medalist in Sombate at the World Cup in 2019. The first South African gymnast to win gold in an FIG competition. She went on to qualify for the Olympic Games. Back salto is stable. Van Leuven well executed. And she's got through her big releases and catches, concluding with the Ginga somersault. Just made a little contact, it seemed, there on the low bar as she was motoring round into that dismount, but a very purposeful routine from Caitlin Rooskrantz of South Africa.
Uneven bars is definitely
gymnast
her
who
favorite
trains at the Johannesburg Gymnastics Centre. Has always looked to Ellie Seitz of Germany as her great inspiration on this piece. Vahagan Davtyan of Armenia. Recently he has begun a second career working as the head of sports and youth affairs department for Yerevan municipality. He's on a campaign to improve conditions in sports facilities in state schools in Armenia. And when he's not doing that, he's winning World Cup medals, and lots of them. Silver in Cottbus, then the gold in Doha. Second strongest qualifier. Very good planche position. Nice tidy handstand work. Yamawaki through into the Maltese. Effortlessly opens up the palms with a very level shoulder presentation. Just a small reset into the planche position perhaps, but not in that handstand. Oh, what a landing from Hagen Davtyan of Armenia. Oh, polish and pizzazz to begin this still rings final. That is lovely gymnastics from the 33-year-old. .3 the score for Caitlin Rooskrantz. She's gained 3/10 of difficulty, lost a fraction of execution, but she's well up on her qualification performance. From Egypt, Yana Abdel Salam. The 16-year-old from Cairo, her World Cup debut. Oh, well held. Just a little high, but she got that back under control nicely. Now then, that's a nicely executed Jaeger. Little clip of the low bar. And unfortunately for Yana Abdel Salam, the hands go down on the dismount. One wonders if that contact on the low bar might have destabilised her refraction. But it's her first competition in over 2 years. Her first FIG event. She was the silver medalist at the Mediterranean Championships in Cagliari in 2019. Competition that was attended by a lot of very young gymnasts. As Hagen Davtyan scores 14.8, he's up by just under a tenth from the preliminary round.
Representing the United States of
Alex
America,
Diab of the United States of America, the 24-year-old reigning two-time national champion, also twice a collegiate champion. Graduate of the University of Illinois. 7th strongest in qualifying. A touch tentative perhaps establishing his planche. Nice and level in the Maltese position. And that handstand with the horizontal arms is a tricky skill. Good toe point in the second handstand. Jonassen through into the Maltese. Is he going to get a steady landing with one pace backwards? Alex Diab of the USA. Largely a tidy display. And the man who won the Still Rings title at the Winter Cup at the start of the year. .866 for Yana Abdel Salam.
Alexander Diab representing the United States. He just finished his routine in this rings final.
What a young athlete. Ukraine's Daniela Petrona.
And now, on uneven bars representing
15.
Ukraine, Daniela Petrona.
Bronze medalist on the uneven bars in Doha, having won the balance beam title in Cottbus in her senior international debut, and floor silver. Oh, what a purposeful move from low to high. Good form in the pack salto. Maloney transition well executed, and unfortunately she comes off on the ginger. But it doesn't change anything when you look at the promise of this young athlete. May well change the complexion of this final, though. That was better. This comes up quite short from handstand position. But she pikes round with purpose and poise. Daniela Petrona of Ukraine.
She did
already
her first World Cup
holder
a couple
of
weeks
full
ago
colours
in Cottbus
at
in
World
Germany.
Cup level.
And it was a good World Cup for her. She won a gold medal on balance beam.
Alex Diab, 14.366. So he goes up by a tenth and a half from qualification into second place. Socrates
On rings,
Pilakouris,
an athlete
from
who
Cyprus.
represents Cyprus, Socrates
The man
Pilakouris.
from Pelendri, a beautiful village 40 kilometres or so away from Limassol, in the centre of the country. It's a Middle Ages settlement cut into the hillside of the Troodos Mountains. Lovely part of the world it is. Getting increasingly stable. Yamawaki out into the Maltese, has a flicker of adjustment. Just a small amount of yawing of the rings that he's controlling well. Very promising from Socrates Pilakouris of Cyprus. He was fourth
Socrates
in Cairo
Pilakouris from
last year.
Cyprus.
His only World Cup competition before this.
A little hook with the coach after that routine. Why not?
He has competed at the Junior Commonwealth Championships. Not yet the Commonwealth Games, but he'll certainly have that in mind. They're coming up in Birmingham in August.
Waiting for a score on uneven bars, the score of Daniela Petrona, the athlete from Ukraine.
.1 his qualification score. Daniela Petrona 11.233. Loses some of the difficulty that she was attempting as well. But, you know, she's just 15 and she's had a very good season already. Gildora Aripova of Uzbekistan.
Uneven bars now.
18-year-old from
Uzbekistan,
Tashkent. She is the
Gildora
reigning South Central
Aripova.
Asian champion. And she won in Dhaka in Bangladesh last year. It's well executed. And comes off on the Kachev. Nice control in the bail. And the double pike to dismount also was reasonably secure. She has already been a World Cup champion, winning the floor title in Varna last year.
From Uzbekistan.
It's 14.166 for Pilakuris, so he's in third position.
14.166.
Everyone so far in the first three has made an improvement from qualification. Different sort of picture actually in the uneven bars. Just one has improved.
And
To
now on rings
Artur
for
Avetisian of Armenia,
Artur
the reigning
Avetisian.
world university champion from Napoli. .466 in qualification, the fourth best. And who was the person he beat into second place at that championships? Ibrahim Cholak. Did it 3 months before Cholak became the world champion. So, great deal of crispness to this. Jamison through to Maltese position. All so far is encouraging. Flickered slightly on his planche, but not a large degree of movement. He twists into a purposeful and tidy looking dismount. Artur Avetisian may well feel that he's just given a little away on too many occasions.
Artur Avetisian.
But otherwise it was a good display. He will likely be cognizant of the fact that he is giving away a few tenths of difficulty compared to the very top performers, and those tenths needed to not be lost in execution.
He won a medal at a World Cup was in 2019, 3 years ago, in Cottbus. That was bronze on rings.
10.466 for Dildora Aripova. So she's down by almost a mark from the qualification campaign.
الآن نرحب بباقي اللاعبين واللاعبات المشاركين في نهائي بطولة كأس العالم للجمباز الفني رجال والفني نساء على جهازي المتوازي والحلق.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the next athletes on uneven bars.
We still await the score for Artur Avetisian, and then we'll move into the second half of the competition. And in the second half we have got Salvatore Maresca, the third strongest qualifier, and Ibrahim Cholak, the top
And
qualifier.
here are the remaining finalists on rings.
14.5 for Artur Avatisian. He has improved by a tenth in terms of difficulty from qualifying, but he's lost that in terms of his execution. So he goes down, or rather goes up by a fraction, but not as high as he was hoping for. Gains a little shy of a tenth.
Presenting you the finalists on uneven bars. Representing Canada, Laurie Denome.
From Canada, Laurie
From
Denome,
South Africa,
top
Naveen Daris.
qualifier. Naveen Daris
from
of
Slovenia,
South Africa,
Lucia
fifth strongest in
Hribar.
qualification, Olympian. Lucia
finally,
Hribar of
from
Slovenia,
Norway,
bronze medalist at the
Marie
Mediterranean
Kanter.
Games on uneven bars. And Maria Kanter of Norway, the reigning
Presenting
national
you
champion
on
2 years in a row.
rings for Italy, Salvatore Maresca.
It is Salvatore
From
Maresca of
Turkey,
Italy, the
Ibrahim
World
Colak.
Championship silver medalist. Will be
From
followed by the
Greece,
world champion
Konstantinos
from 2019.
Konstantinidis.
Then Konstantinos Konstantinidis of Greece,
And
the fifth
from
strongest in
Azerbaijan,
qualification.
Nikita Simonov.
Nikita Simonov of Azerbaijan, sixth best in
Gymnast,
qualifying.
Humena warm-up.
Winner of 4 World Cup medals. Actually, I must correct myself. Winner of 5 World Cup medals because he took the bronze medal in Doha in the most recent competition. Well, Salvatore Maresca, the 28-year-old from Napoli. And over on the uneven bars, the top qualifier, Laurie Denome. But back to Maresca. To win a bronze medal at his debut European Championships was remarkable. He then went to his debut World Championships and won a silver. Yes, there is a reason why the still rings is often called the Roman rings. There's a reason why the Italians have such a proud tradition of it. And you can get these gymnasts who come from Italy, who you've never heard of internationally, and they are world class. Just getting out of the national championships as the top performer is so difficult. Ibrahim Colak of Turkey. We really first noticed him, didn't we, at the European Games on still rings in 2015, where he won a bronze medal. How he's developed enormously along with the rest of the Turkish team over the years. Warming up is the gymnast from South Africa, Naveen Daris, the all-around bronze medalist at last year's African Championships in Cairo. The Greeks do a pretty good line in still rings as well. We haven't had much chance to see Konstantinos Konstantinidis internationally over the years because of the illustrious company he keeps. The likes of Eleftherios Petronius, for example. And the gymnast from Azerbaijan, Nikita Simonov, trains at the Ochak Sports Club in Baku. Bronze medalist in Doha at the World Cup at the start of the month. Well, she was very comfortably the top performer in qualification, Laurie Denome, with a well-executed routine. Best execution score of anyone. She has done incredibly in the last couple of years to get to the position that she's in now, where she was an alternate for the Olympic Games, where she is winning World Cup honours. That's the podium so far. Marie Cantor of Norway completes her warm-up. Leading the men's still rings is Vahagan Davtyan. His teammate Arta Avatisyan in second place. Great nation for still rings performers, Armenia. Great nation for gymnastics, full stop, Canada.
استعد على جهاز المتوازي اللاعبة لوري دينومي من كندا.
From Canada, Laurie Denome. She's already had a terrific competition, winning a medal in the vault. She comes into this as the top performer after the preliminary round, score of 12.7. No issues so far, certainly not with the pack salto. Goes comfortably through her ginger. Well. Does Laurie Denome of Canada have a place on the podium?
She has done 2
courtesy of that display.
So that was both in
12.7 in qualifying.
Both of these
the leading
events,
score at the
she
moment
won
is
1 or more
12.3.
medals. Laurie Denome from Canada.
We have the 5th, 8th and 4th strongest performers to come. Salvatore Maresca of Italy, World Championship silver medalist in Kitakyushu last year. 3rd strongest qualifier for this final. So far, every single one of the first 4 has improved upon their qualification mark. It's a classic rings final, all about small gains. Very fluid so far. Great control. Not a flicker in that handstand. Oh, yes. What nice gymnastics from Salvatore Maresca of Italy, as we have come to expect from the gentleman who first became the national champion back in November of 2020 and suddenly was unleashed on the international stage.
Salvatore Maresca. This man won
says it was his
the
sister
bronze
who
medal at the World Championships
is why he started gymnastics, and that the sport has stopped him going down what would likely have been quite a bad path in life.
Only achievement. Bronze medal winner at the European Championships
Well, how interesting. We have
And
leading the
gold
way
medalist at the World Cup in Osijek in
for Hagen
Croatia last year.
Davtjan. And then we
Honoring
have Salvatore Maresca waiting for his score. Maresca, the man who was nicknamed Thor by the club president based on his strength. He is not Laurie Denome, just to be crystal clear. 12.033, she goes into second place. Execution well down from qualification, so she's lost around 3/4 of a mark. Same difficulty.
اللاعبة نيفين داريس من جنوب أفريقيا على جهاز المتوازي.
Naveen Daris of South Africa, 5th strongest performer in qualification. What a brilliant time she had in Cairo at the African Championships a week before the last Cairo World Cup, where she took the all-around bronze medal, earning a place at the Games. Oh, that's unusual. Well, this is a fascinating uneven bars final. It's there for somebody to take control of. And that lovely dismount. Well executed.
Naveen Daris from South Africa, the
Naveen
bronze
Daris,
medal
though,
winner in the all-around
will take
competition at the
naturally a
African
full mark
Championships
deduction
here in
for
Cairo
that
last year.
unintentional
And
dismount
that
from the
bronze medal
apparatus.
delivered her a ticket to the Tokyo Olympics.
For Maresca,
She's an Olympian.
the man they call
Naveen
Thor,
Daris.
he drops in to second place behind the man whose name for Hagen is the name of the ancient Armenian god of lightning and of fire. But it's not mythology, it's fact that he's in the lead and that Maresca's in second. Until this gentleman gets involved, Ibrahim Cholak, the world champion from 2019, the first Turkish world champion.
من تركيا.
He won the title in Cottbus, his 20th World Cup medal, his first win since the European Championships of 2020. Top qualifier. Ibrahim Cholak, he will have to improve upon his qualification display in order to displace Davtjan. Oh, most interesting. Ibrahim Cholak of Turkey making his case to be a medalist in the still rings competition here in Cairo.
Ever Turkish gold medalist at the World Championships. Won the golds in Stuttgart in 2019 on this apparatus on the rings. Ibrahim Cholak from Turkey.
Years and years of top quality work on this apparatus. Naveen Daris goes into fourth place with 11.133. That means Caitlin Rooskrantz is sure of a medal.
Competition on uneven bars. The uneven bars.
Laurie
final,
Denome also is
where we
close to
will
one.
soon see a Slovenian athlete.
Lucia Hribar of Slovenia, the 19-year-old who took a bronze
From
medal
Slovenia,
in
Lucia
Koper
Hribar.
at the World Challenge Cup last year for her first World Cup honours. She was a bronze medalist at the Mediterranean Games in Tarragona in 2018. Eighth strongest in qualification. But this is looking, it was looking considerably better, but curse of the commentator there. Oh, what a shame. Lucia Hribar really started that display with confidence. Now she has exited the apparatus. And if you're Marie Cantor of Norway, last to perform, you will be probably trying to control a fluttering heart, thinking, my goodness me, could I actually get onto the podium here? Tucks around nicely to conclude the display. Lucia Hribar of Slovenia. Teenager from Ljubljana.
Lucia Hribar of Slovenia.
Second place for
Her
Cholak,
teammates
14.7.
Are vault specialists. Well,
So he
Lucia
goes
is
above
an uneven bar
Maresca and
specialist.
by a tenth below Davtyan.
Medal
So
winner
it's
at several
14.8,
World Cup events.
14.7, 14.633, 1, 2 and 3
Each time on
with
uneven
2 to
bars.
go.
Lucia Hribar.
Konstantinos Konstantinidis
ننتقل
of
إلى
Greece.
جهاز الحلق ومن اليونان اللاعب كوستانتينوس كوستانتينيدس.
Fifth best performer in the preliminary round. 30-year-old from Athens, a personal trainer and graduate of sports science. What a nice Maltese. Oh, it's a good line on that handstand. Level shoulders. They are excited, the Greek delegation watching on. Konstantinos Konstantinidis of Greece.
Konstantinos Konstantinidis with a little
6.0
victory
difficulty
sign
score
and a hug
in
with his coach after
qualification.
that routine on the rings.
The top difficulty score in qualifying was Maresca, 6.2. It's going to be tough to get amongst those gentlemen who are right up there at the top. One to go. Nikita Simonov of Azerbaijan. Lucia Hribar, 6th place with the score of 10.6. All of that leaves us with the Norwegian national champion on the uneven bars. Time for a deep breath. Target score 11.233.
من النرويج اللاعبة ماري كانتر.
This would be a Cinderella story. Marie Cantor of Norway scored 11.8 in qualification. Can you imagine? Paxolto, it's all going well so far. Just needs to keep her strength. It's looking good. Dismounts with control. Marie Cantor of Norway. Now her routine,
Marie Cantor, this is
the
her
easiest in terms of difficulty
World Cup final
of
the
all
season.
of the
We
qualifiers.
saw her in the final
The
in
score
Cottbus.
she needs
That was not on uneven bars,
is
but on balance beam.
in excess of
here again, a final at
11.233,
a
and
World
she
Cup.
is on the podium.
Great job by Marie
The
Cantor
reigning
from
national
Norway.
champion. Konstantinos Konstantinidis, 14.366, down by just a fraction from qualification and not on the podium. Still, that target is 14.633 in bronze. Maresca with one to go. Guaranteed a medal for Hagen Davtyan. Guaranteed a medal Ibrahim Cholak. What of Nikita Simonov?
الآن على جهاز الحلق من أذربيجان اللاعب نيكيتا سيمونوف.
Sixth strongest performer in the preliminary round. 14.3. Can he find some extra difficulty? 5.8 D score in qualifying. It's a touch diagonal in that planche position. He crumples to the ground. Nikita Simonov looks as though he's okay, fortunately. That, one suspects, will make the podium places secure.
Look
25-year-old
at the
has
score
been competing
of
for
Marie
Azerbaijan
Cantor
since
from
2018.
Norway. She wins her very first World Cup medal.
Now,
here in
what about
Cairo.
this? What about this? It is indeed a Cinderella story for Marie Cantor of Norway, with the
Bronze for Marie
easiest
Cantor from
difficulty of
Norway.
anyone
Wonderful
in the
job.
final, but the most control.
Congratulations. We'll
It is
see
a
her
Cinderella
again in a
story
couple
that
of
ends
moments
not
in
with a
the
diamond
award
slipper.
ceremony.
It certainly doesn't end with a pumpkin. It ends with her first ever World Cup medal. Huge congratulations to Norway's Marie Cantor. As the old saying goes, there's more than one way to build a score, and Cantor has done it the right
There's
way.
the score for our man from Azerbaijan as well, Nikita Simonov.
And we now wait for the score for Nikita Simonov of Azerbaijan. She looks absolutely thrilled, Marie Cantor.
Judges, thank you so much.
شكرا للسادة الحكام.
And still we wait for Nikita Simonov's score. And now we have clarification. As expected, it's not enough to get onto the podium. 13.466 for Azerbaijan's Nikita Simonov. Loses a full mark for the dismount. The classified results in the women's uneven bars competition. The bronze medal to Marie Kanter of Norway, silver to Laurie Denome of Canada, and the gold to South Africa's Caitlin Rooskrantz. The classified results in the still rings final. The bronze to Italy and Salvatore Maresca, the silver to Turkey's Ibrahim Cholak, and winner of the gold medal, Armenia's Vahagan Davtyan.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for the medal award ceremonies in just a couple of
moments. 2 golds in a row for him at World Cup level.
Medal ceremonies for uneven bars and rings.
And we will now have the victory ceremonies for the women's uneven bars and men's still rings competitions.
We say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, to the judges of uneven bars.
السيدات والسادة، الآن مراسم تتويج نهائي بطولة كأس العالم للجمباز الفنية نساء القاهرة.
Welcome back to the main hall in the Cairo International Stadium, where we have two victory ceremonies to take place.
Victory ceremony for the women's uneven bars final. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the medal winners.
The victory ceremony for the women's uneven bars competition at the 2022 Cairo World Cup, the second of its kind.
فازت بالمركز الثالث والميدالية البرونزية.
Third place and bronze medal winner from Norway, Mari Kanter.
Welcome to the podium, Mari Kanter. You are right to beam. The reigning Norwegian champion has made history, taking a Norwegian gymnast onto the podium in women's artistic gymnastics.
Second place and winner of the silver
Deserved
medal,
bronze for her.
representing Canada, Laurie Denomé.
A second medal of the day for Laurie Denomé of Canada. After her success in the vault competition, she's a silver medalist on the uneven bars. 21-year-old having a great start to her season.
فازت بالمركز الأول والميدالية الذهبية.
And first place and winner of the gold medal for South Africa, Caitlin Rooskrantz.
South Africa's Caitlin Rooskrantz became the first gymnast from her country to win an FIG competition when she took World Cup gold in Sombate in 2019. She has done it again in Cairo. The Olympian and multiple-time national champion on the uneven bars, once again in top spot. Let's hear the national anthem of South Africa.
For the national anthem of South Africa.
To Caitlin Rooskrantz, the title in Cairo on the
what
uneven
a great
bars.
final it was. Norway, Canada, and the Republic of South Africa on the podium. Gymnasts, congratulations. Thank you so much for being here with us.
الآن مراسم تتويج نهائي بطولة كأس العالم للجمباز الفني رجال القاهرة 2022 على جهاز الحلق.
Victory ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, for the men's rings final. Please welcome the medal winners.
The victory ceremony in the men's still rings competition at the second Cairo World Cup of Artistic Gymnastics.
فاز بالمركز الثالث والميدالية البرونزية.
Third place and bronze medal winner from Italy, Salvatore Maresca.
While we didn't know him for quite some time, he's making up for lost time. Salvatore Maresca of Italy, a gentleman who we are now well acquainted with, a European Championship medalist, a World Championship medalist, and a World Cup medalist here in Cairo.
Second place and silver medal winner for Turkey, Ibrahim Çolak.
We know who this gentleman is. We've known for a long time, the world champion from 2019, Ibrahim Çolak. He's been back to winning ways this season, taking the title in Cottbus. He now also takes a silver medal here in Cairo.
فاز بالمركز الأول والميدالية الذهبية.
And first place and gold medal winner representing Armenia, Fahan Davtyan.
Fahan Davtyan of Armenia takes his second title in consecutive World Cup events. The silver medalist in Cottbus, then he won Doha, now he wins Cairo. He's 33, he's having a great season. Stepping up from being the second strongest in qualification to being the champion. As a result, we will hear the national anthem of Armenia.
الآن مع السلام الوطني لدولة أرمينيا.
And we rise, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem of Armenia.
Meharanik, the national anthem of Armenia, composed by Mikhail
Podium
Nalbandian
of the
and
men's rings
Basse
final.
Kanachian.
Three wonderful
He's played
gymnasts
for
on
the
the podium.
second time in consecutive World
And
Cups
of
for
course,
Vahagan
one last
Davtyan.
picture. Yes,
And it
indeed.
brings to a close the first day of finals action here at the second Cairo World Cup of Artistic
Gymnasts, congratulations.
Gymnastics.
Thank you so much.
We still have another 5 finals to come tomorrow, but that draws to a close action at the Cairo International Stadium main hall on this first of the 2 days of World Cup Finals Gymnastics. It's been a great pleasure having your company. I've been Oli Hogben, and I will see you tomorrow for more action here in Cairo. Until then, goodbye.
رجال والفني نساء القاهرة 2022 كأس العالم للجمباز القاهرة بشكل فرعونية الشكل، مصرية الهوية على أرض النيل. شكرا لكم.
I have bad news for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's finished for today, but the good news is that we have 5 more finals tomorrow here in the Cairo International Stadium. Hope to see you again for the 5 remaining finals. See you again at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye.